I thought our marriage was solid. We had been together for nearly 8 years, married for 3, and on the surface, everything looked perfect. She was beautiful, charming, and social. Everyone loved being around her. I, on the other hand, was quieter, more reserved. My work consumed me. My social life was modest, and I didn't chase attention or accolades. I was content in my own world, or so I thought. That evening, she insisted on going out to a fancy dinner. I didn't suspect anything. She had been distant for weeks, always on her phone, texting late into the night, but I brushed it off as work stress. Maybe she just needed some time, I reasoned. So, I agreed. We arrived at the restaurant, a sleek place with soft lighting and polished wood tables. The ambiance was warm, but I could feel the tension in the air. She barely touched her wine before she leaned back in her chair and, without warning, said it. "I'm leaving you." Her words hit me like a thunderclap. I froze, trying to process them. There was no prelude, no conversation leading up to this. Just those 3 words, delivered casually, almost like she was reciting a line from a script. I looked at her, and the shock on her face was mirrored by the waitress who had been refilling our water. My mind raced. Was this about something I had done? Or was it something else entirely? But instead of panicking, I smiled. Just a small, controlled smile, calm and almost serene. She blinked, confused. You're smiling?" she stammered. "How can you smile right now?" I took a deep breath. "I think you need to meet someone," I said, signaling the host. The hostess nodded discreetly, and a few moments later, the door opened. My best friend walked in, looking casually elegant, and then, just as I knew she would, the look on my wife's face changed completely. Her jaw dropped, her eyes went wide, and the color drained from her cheeks. I could almost hear the gears turning in her head as she tried to process what was happening. The woman she had been secretly seeing, the affair she had thought I knew nothing about, was right there in the restaurant. My best friend had come at my invitation, knowing exactly what was about to unfold. For a few seconds, there was silence. I leaned back, relaxed, letting her stew in the reality of the situation she had tried to hide. Then I spoke, calm and deliberate. "I think you owe some explanations. Care to start?" She opened her mouth, tried to deny it, tried to stammer some excuse, but the sight of the person she had betrayed me with made her words falter. The truth hung in the air, undeniable, and I watched as the confident, untouchable facade she had maintained for months crumbled in an instant. The restaurant, once just another backdrop for a quiet dinner, had become a stage. Every patron who glanced our way could sense the tension, the raw energy of a confrontation that was inevitable. But I didn't care who saw. The humiliation she had tried to inflict on me through her lies, her deceit, and her betrayal. It was time for it to be hers. I sipped my wine calmly. "You thought I didn't know," I said softly, almost conversationally. "You thought you could keep this hidden, that I'd never find out. You underestimated me." She sank back in her chair, her face a mixture of shame and anger. "It's not what you think," she said weakly, but her voice lacked conviction. "It is exactly what I think," I replied. "And now, you're going to see that actions have consequences." My best friend stayed silent, allowing the tension to build, letting the truth speak for itself. She finally turned to him, her face pale, searching for any sign that this could be a misunderstanding. There was none. I felt a strange sense of liberation wash over me. I had spent weeks suspecting, observing, quietly gathering proof. And now, in this one moment, everything became crystal clear. The betrayal, the lies, the secret messages, the late-night excuses, it all unraveled in a single, undeniable confrontation. I stood up, reached for my coat, and smiled once more. "Enjoy the company," I said, nodding toward my best friend. "I have nothing more to say to someone who doesn't respect me enough to be faithful." She tried to reach out, tried to plead, but I shook my head. No words could undo the betrayal. No apologies could erase the months of deceit. I walked out, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. For the first time in months, maybe years, I felt free. In the days that followed, I moved out, handled the legalities of separation, and focused on myself. It was painful, yes, but it was also empowering. I had faced the betrayal, stood my ground, and refused to let her actions define my self-worth. I also realized something important. True strength doesn't come from revenge or anger. It comes from clarity, from taking control of your life, and refusing to accept less than you deserve. By the time the dust settled, I knew I had made the right decision, not just for my pride, but for my future. Seeing her face in that restaurant, the moment the truth hit her, will stay with me forever. Not as a memory of humiliation, but as a testament to knowing your worth, to not tolerating betrayal, and to ensuring that no matter what, you never compromise your dignity for someone who cannot value it.